It's October the 5th, 1920. A 60-year-old bank runner disappeared with a pouch containing $70,000 in cash and another $30,000 in negotiable securities. It was assumed he had run away. 11 days later, Paul's body was found in a shallow grave in a wooded area. He had been shot through the head. Mysteriously, while the ground around the corpse was bone dry, Paul's overcoat and clothing were sopping wet. The only explanation the police could come up with was that possibly his murderer hadn't been sure whether the bullet had killed him and therefore drowned him in a nearby stream. He had died, however, according to an autopsy, for only 48 to 72 hours. Thus, either he had absconded, ran away, with the money and was later killed for it, or he had been kidnapped at the start but kept alive by his abductor for 8 or 9 days before being killed. Ellis Parker, a New York detective, has chosen this case. His height is 5 feet 6 inches. Soft-spoken, blue-eyed, gentle-looking man who could have passed for a small-town grocer, or almost anything. But what he was is the chief of detectives in Burlington County. Known as a county detective with a worldwide reputation, Parker was known for his ability as a crime solver in other jurisdictions, especially other sheriffs in the state often called him for aid. Parker firmly believed that the logical interpretation of facts was almost always the correct one, so far as alibis were concerned. He was convinced that most criminals fabricate an alibi before they commit a crime. Therefore, he automatically suspected any person with an alibi. He once nailed a soldier for the murder of fellow GI at Fort Dix. Even though there were over 100 likely suspects, only one man could provide an alibi for the time the crime was committed. It was illogical for someone to remember what he was doing 3 months earlier. So the soldier with alibi headed Parker's suspect list. The shrewd detective soon found incriminating evidence against the murderer and got a confession. Now going back to the pickled corpse case, Ellis Parker was able to solve this in just a matter of 17 hours and 15 minutes. Apparently, the 60-year-old bank runner had disappeared with the money, and 3 suspects had mugged him and killed him for the money. The money he had on him was not his. He had stolen it, and that's why he ran away from his job. The three thieves are not yet to be found. It only depends on Ellis Parker and his intelligence to find out where they went or how they were able to find it, the 60-year-old bank runner that had the money.